The Nintendo Switch 2 has officially been out for 1 month, and I've been playing a lot of games, and there's a lot of things that I like, but some things I don't. Let's talk about it. I think the best place to start is with the console itself. Now, the whole gimmick of Nintendo Switches for the past 10 years has been that you can dock it and play it handheld, thus having removable Joy-Cons. These Joy-Cons are new on the Switch 2, and then they have magnets on the sides instead of rails. This had everyone excited that they would easily snap in and out and not wiggle like the last Switch. Unfortunately, these new Joy-Cons suffer from the same loosey-goosey feel too as they move front to back while they're on the console itself. As far as snapping in and out easily, this seems to be true until you try to take them off on a docked Switch. I guess it's because of like the angle and you try to like pull up and out and it's really annoying. The battery on the Switch 2 is the cause of many people's gripes for this console. Nintendo even came out with a statement saying you have to reset the battery percentage reading on your Switch and how to do it. Personally, my Switch 2 has actually never died, but as a husband and father, I'm not sitting on my Switch for 3, 4, 5 hours at a time. I literally play it for an hour here, 2 hours there. The longest time I've played without having to charge it is 3 instances of a little bit over an hour of gameplay each. So like, I'd say that's about 3.5, 4 hours almost, and it was still not even close to being dead. So I've never had an issue with it. But if you do have a problem with the battery, Nintendo thought of the best way to fix it. They gave you a charger. Just plug it in. And guess what? You can charge it from the bottom or the top. So there you go. The brand new LCD screen was also a cause of concern because people were like, oh my gosh, we're taking a step back because we had an OLED screen. Now we are stuck with this crappy LCD screen. It looks so dang good. I mean, the colors pop. The depth is depthing. It's just an amazing screen and it's huge. I kept saying in my unboxing video, this thing is massive. If you're holding it now and it's in front of your face, you're like, whoa, get away, it's too good. And do I need to remind you that in the next 7-8 years, we will have multiple, tens, maybe even hundreds of games that can do 1080p, 120 frames. The new controller or Joy-Con holder for the Switch 2 is new. It's more sleek. It has a different sheen to it, and it's more, it's worse. It's bad. I don't like it. I said in my unboxing video when I pulled it out for the first time, it doesn't have that support on the sides for like right where your end of your thumbs just sit. It's supposed to be supported, but there's just a gap there. I think Nintendo thought that your thumb was supposed to like rest in it. It doesn't, but to test it out, I played a single game of Fortnite and I got second place with the controller. But holy cow, that sucked. I don't know, it's just very uncomfortable. I don't like the ergonomics of it. It's sleek, and the problem is you can't even say it looks good because I'm looking at it right now. It's weird. I'm sure the Joy-Con holder controller is perfectly fine if you're just like, here little Timmy, and he's 7 and he's playing Mario Party with the fam, here you go. It's whatever. But if you're gonna play a shooter or a very specific, like, has to be dialed in game, do not use that. The last thing I want to say about Joy-Cons is that the newest gimmick of the Switch 2 is mouse mode. I haven't used it. There's only like 2 games that have mouse mode compatibility, and it's like Cyberpunk and some indie game, and I don't care for either of them. If they add something like mouse mode in Valorant or something, if they add Valorant, I'll sure try it out because that sounds like fun. But for now, there's no need for it. If you've used it, let me know in the comments how it is and how much you love it or how much you hate it. All right, games. Let's talk about the games. None of these are Switch 2 games, by the way, but they are Switch 2 games. They are Switch 2 games. I think one of the coolest things about the Switch 2 is that you can have upgraded versions of Switch 1 games, so you don't have to go out and buy a whole new game to do the same content. Maybe a little added content for better frame rates, except for Civ 6 and Sonic Shadow Generations. I've been playing a lot of different games this month. Funnily enough, the first game I wanted to play because NSO GameCube is out was Wind Waker. I never played this game before. It's a classic Zelda game. It's great. But now that GameCube is on NSO, it was finally worth it to me to purchase the online plus expansion pack. So now I got to peruse all of the NSO consoles, and the number one game I wanted to play, Pokemon Puzzle on the Nintendo 64. I have not played this game in like 15 years. I've never ever been good at it, but I used to play with my neighbors all the time. Still, I'm not good, but I grinded. I beat easy mode, I beat normal mode, and I beat hard mode, and I even unlocked the super secret hard mode that's like you have to do a button combination in the menus, and it told you how to do it, but I was just mashing the A button, so I don't know how to unlock that anymore, so I have to look it up. Okay, let's finally talk about Switch games, because after all, this is a Switch video, so we should talk about Switch games. The first game I really played, I dove into, was Sonic X Shadow Generations. I know it's not a Switch 2 version. I had it on the Switch 1, and apparently they don't give you the upgrade path, but for some reason, it felt better, it felt smoother, it felt lighter, it felt, I don't know, it just felt better. I really want to make a whole video about just that specific game, so I won't talk too much about it, but man, it's fantastic. The next game I played a bunch of was Pokemon Shield, because I really want to 100% Pokédex, get the shiny charm, and go at some shiny hunting. It does not have a Switch 2 upgrade, but again, it feels nicer and looks cleaner. And I had a Moltres on my team, and for some reason his fire, it just looked crisp and smooth, and I don't know. It looked great. Like I said, Fortnite was okay. I just really wanted to try it with the new controller, but it's Fortnite. I will say it ran pretty dang nice. The Switch 1 version is famously just bad, but this time around everything loaded in perfectly fine. Running and jumping frames didn't drop almost at all. Yes, there were a few frame dips, but it never just sunk. And like I said, I got second place on my first game of Fortnite in like a year, so that's good. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of Switch games. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, I originally beat this game back on my OLED when I first got it, and oh my goodness, I loved it so much. I did not 100% it because it took me 40 something hours to beat it in the first place. But man, coming back to it on the Switch 2 version it was so pretty. Everything moved gracefully on the horse. It was pretty, and just looking at just the vast fields and the Hyrule Castle, and it was just, it was breathtaking just seeing it in this beautiful 4K on docked mode. It was just, it was perfect. Tears of the Kingdom also has a Switch 2 version, and oh my gosh, it already being Breath of the Wild but better. Imagine it being on the Switch 2 Breath of the Wild but better. It's so good. I literally put it back in my Switch for the first time in I think like 2 years, and I opened it up and I was in some temple things, and I just was like, whoa, this is beautiful. Okay, how do I beat it? But I just wanted to get back into it, and it just sucked me right back in, and I played it for like 45 minutes and I didn't beat it, and you know. The one thing I had to do was go up to the top level in the air, and I wanted to just glide down and just look at everything, and oh my gosh, let me tell you, it is so pretty. I don't think I've seen anyone else really talk about this, but if you have Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion, you get most, if not all, Nintendo Switch 2 upgrades for free. I don't think anyone's talking about that. I don't know the complete list of games that are free upgrades. I know the Zeldas are because I did it, but instead of paying $20 for games you already have to do it, you pay $55 a year for Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack. You get all the upgrades and GameCube games and Nintendo 64 games and Super Nintendo games and NES games and Game Boy games and Game Boy Advance games. Like, here's my credit card. It's such a steal to do all of this in one expansion pass. Like, it's one membership. It gives you all of it. It's nice. And I don't think anyone's really talking about the free upgrade situation. Brilliant Diamond, the load times are like halved. Everything is so much quicker on the Switch 2. I can't believe it. It's going to make like soft resetting for shinies, speed runs, just so much better and so much easier on the Switch 2. I'm so excited. I just beat Cynthia finally in Brilliant Diamond. The last game we have to talk about, and it's certainly not least, Mario Kart. I do not have it. I didn't get the bundle. I couldn't. Yeah. It looks fun. If you want to see a huge review, go watch Beat 'em Up's video. It's a great video. He poured his heart and soul into that video. It's a great video. I'll just say it looks great. The $8 price tag is big, and we have to just understand that that's where gaming is going, and $8 games aren't the end of the world. Deal with it. Now, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet both got one of the most controversial releases on the Switch 1 because of just how terribly it ran. Everyone said, this is not a finished game, this is a broken game, why would they release this? And I've gotta say, I agree. Oh my goodness, those games were glitchy and buggy as all get out on release. But, waited a few years, the Switch 2 has brought these games back to life. No frame dips, perfect 4K 60. I gotta say, the first time I inserted the cartridge in, it immediately upgraded. It did not take time whatsoever. And I booted right up into the game, and I kid you not, 30 Chanseys were just in front of me, and I was like, oh. And they were just running around, and everything was flowing nice, and I was like, okay, well, let me get on Koraidon real quick and see how glitchy it is, because Koraidon, whenever you got on your ride Pokemon jumping and sprinting, everything just stopped. It did not want to do that. But now it's just so seamless and perfect and fluid. And it's just, if only these games didn't come out until now, arguably these would be the best Pokemon games of all time. If they didn't have such a bad start. That's all I gotta say. I will say, with those Chanseys, for some reason I think the Nintendo Switch 2 version has some like coloring issues, so I found this green looking Chansey, but it's okay. I killed it. I got it out of there. We're all good. Let's finally get to my dislikes of the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't have many gripes with this thing yet, and here I am trying to say this is gonna be the greatest console of all time because I know its lifespan is gonna be 7-8 years, just like the last Switch. But we're talking about it 1 month in, here right now in July 2025. The Joy-Cons, as we know, are magnetic. Finally, gone are the days of sliding in our Joy-Cons and them just wiggling around on the Switch. Wrong. Well, they still do. They wiggle. Day one, they were locked in, magnets were sealed, locked, and just did not move. It was like this big brick thing. It wouldn't budge. The more you play it, the more the magnets get used to sitting there and they wiggle and whatever. On like day 3, I started getting a lot of wiggle, and I'm gonna do this, and I really don't want to, but I saw Beat 'em Ups do this in his video, and I cringed and almost cried, but I'm gonna do it now. Like I said, it's massive, it's heavy. If you hold it with one hand, you have to hold it like in the middle like this, but if you hold it with one Joy-Con, I don't know if you can see that, but it just feels like it's gonna come right off. So that's one gripe I have with it. I don't know if that's gonna be a thing of like, oh, it's fine because we're just gonna make more Joy-Cons and we're just gonna make people buy more and it's gonna fix the problem. So they're gonna have new Joy-Cons every month because they're just gonna break and we're gonna make a lot of money. I don't know if that's the whole deal about it, or if everyone's just like, it's fine, I'm gonna play with a Pro controller most of the time anyways in dock mode or tabletop. I don't know. My thing is, I 90% of the time play my Switch in my hand. That's how I'd like to do it. On the couch, I like to play me some Pokemon and catch a shiny or kill one. But I don't know. There's something that has to happen with Joy-Cons to make them stay better. I would assume getting a grip would fix that issue right up, but grips are very, very expensive, and not everyone can get that. I mean, the console itself was $450. Slap an $80 grip on it? Sure, no. Coming from the factory, it should just be working perfectly fine, is what I'm trying to say. It's Joy-Cons should snap in and stay in. That's all I gotta say. Speaking of the Joy-Cons and the magnets, how you take them off, if you have this little tab up here, you pull it and it kind of pulls like 30%, and then you kind of pull on the Joy-Con itself and it releases the whole thing. Well, my right one has that little 30% give to it before you pull it out. My left one, for some reason, doesn't. It does not have a give whatsoever. And I'm saying that now, and guess what? It's back. It has its give, but for like a week straight, it did not have any give. And I'm a fidgety person, and so when I'm holding my Switch, I like to go like that. Yeah, it's working perfectly fine. That's so annoying. I already said I don't like this controller very much just because it's ergonomically not really sound. But I think what makes me not like this controller even more is because this isn't the only one they made. This one is the one that comes with the Switch. There's another one that is like a clearer looking one, and it has a little USB-C on the top that you can plug it in and it will charge your Joy-Cons. But it's not like an AirPods case. It's not like when you can just walk around with the case and it's automatically charging. I couldn't walk around with the controller grip or play with the Joy-Cons and it charges them as I'm playing. No, it's a wired controller at that point that just keeps your Joy-Cons charged. So if that's the case, why didn't they just put that in with the Switch and not charge $35 for the same exact thing that is more inhibiting because you have to keep it plugged in? The last thing I have to say about the Switch 2 that I don't like, it's a small one, the kickstand. It's kind of flimsy, but it's like, I don't know, I think it's like a little too thin. It's also a really weird catch point. You have to, it's weird. I don't even know how to talk about it. You have to put your fingers in the speakers down here to move it. There's no other place to move the kickstand other than shoving your fingers in the speaker and pulling it out, which I think one is really weird. Another thing is I like to play with my Switch handheld, like I said, but I also like to play with it like this, where I hold the little supports down here on the kickstand for some reason, I don't know. But see, look, I'm moving it around and I'm holding the kickstand in the Joy-Con, so I'm not bending the Joy-Con with the weight of the Switch. It has an extra grip, it has extra stability. I like to hold it like this for some reason. Don't at me, I like it. The problem with it is that the kickstand isn't that stable. I know it's not meant to be held like this, and I'm the problem here. I know that. It's meant to just sit on a tabletop and be a stand, but ever so slightly, it's just a little wiggly and it's not in there 100%, it feels like. So it just kind of feels a little cheap. And like I said, I know I'm the problem here with this one, but like, I don't like holding it in it moving like this. I don't know of anyone else who's ever held their Switch like this, but again, I'm a fidgety person and I like that, and that's it. Okay, now let's have some fun. Here's everything I like about it. Let's just start with how beautiful this console is. I mean, it's so sleek. I love the design. I love how it looks like a very pro looking console. And I know I said I didn't like it in my direct video and it just kind of looks a little odd, but man, when you have it in your hands and it's in person, oh, the black, almost sparkly looking finish just glistens in the sunlight when you're outside or when you're on the couch and the sun is just coming in the windows. It's mainly when I'm walking to my car going to work with my Switch and I'm just sitting there and looking like, ooh. Speaking of Joy-Con, let's talk about the sticks. I said in the Switch 2 Direct about how they expanded the thumbsticks and you didn't have to put your thumb on it. Your thumb goes in it. It sits in the thumbstick to give you even better grip and better movement. The bumpers here on the Joy-Cons wrap around it, so you can just you can click it from the side, you can click it from the middle, you can click it from the top. I'm also wondering if it's even more comfortable because if you play with one Joy-Con sideways, like with friends, like in a party game, I wonder if it's even better with that. I don't know, because I don't have any party games and I don't have any friends. So Nintendo Switch Online plus Expansion Pass offering the free Nintendo Switch 2 upgrades for games is just amazing. Obviously you're paying $55 a year for it, but it's one of those things where, oh, it comes with it, so it's free, and it's just a nice thing to know, because in my mind I thought I was paying $55 a month just to play 3 GameCube games. That's fine, I'll pay that, but the fact that I get all the other library with it and Nintendo Switch 2 version upgrades for free, take my credit card. Speaking of Nintendo Switch Online, GameCube announced yesterday that Mario Strikers is coming on July 3rd, and I'm very excited about it. I'm obviously filming this beforehand, so it's probably fantastic. In my mind, this console has a lot of quirks, but it's also only been a month, and if it's any reminiscent of the Switch 1's lifetime, we have 7, 8, maybe even 9 years with this thing. This console only needs 2 things to become the greatest console of all time, at least for me. It's already very high up there because it already has all the Switch 1 library on it, which is already one of the greatest consoles of all time. The first thing, if we get Sonic games on GameCube Online, cherry on top. But the second thing is, where's Master Chief, bro? Bring Halo Master Chief Collection finally on Switch, or even any other Halos by themselves. It's been rumored for so long that the Master Chief Collection was going to come to the Switch 1. And now with the Switch 2 capabilities and mouse mode on Halo, it would just be perfect. So please, Nintendo 343, Microsoft, please let me be able to be completely scared and frightened of the flood on the go. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. That's my Switch 2 review. At the end of the day, I love this thing, and it's only been 1 month. Guys, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, comment below what you want to see out of the Switch 2 in the next 7 years. Some people are even thinking we're going to get the Wii on Nintendo Switch Online. I think that's far-fetched, but also on Switch 1, we got, what, 6 consoles on Nintendo Switch Online? So it's definitely a possibility. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.